So all praise to the Creator. Um, so we're gonna make some quick corrections. So yes, they stormed the White House in Washington. It was some of Trump's supporters, but infiltrated in the supporters of Trump was the FIFA gang. I guess that's what they call it, right? A terrorist group, as Trump has labeled them. So, and obviously the Coast Guard didn't show up to help protect Trump. Um, we obviously know that FEMA's somewhere around there, and I guess FEMA didn't make the move so far, but you also had National Guard not coming to the place they were supposed to come to protect. It's the Coast Guard, National Guard, one of those two, but they never showed up. So the people, being smart, stormed the White House. Not to stop the vote ballots because Trump won, but to keep the gangs from harming Trump. But did they not? They only two particular members of the FIFA gang, that's what they call it, infiltrated the protests of the White House. So wasn't enough to do any damage, and they pretty much tried to start trouble. It didn't work. So right now, obviously, we're gonna see a lot on the news about how they're gonna trash Trump and say it's all Trump's fault, when really it's their fault, and the people are not asleep, and they're basically having a temper tantrum because they can't get their way, and that's all that is really going on. And next, we obviously know that the war may happen, but first, let's listen to Sony's podcast. He has a new podcast. Apparently, they've been messing with him too, messing with his channels too. So you're gonna start seeing a bunch of podcasters pop up all over the place from people you've been watching for years, and it's gonna be like they started from ground zero, and that's gonna be crazy. But it's all good because we have plenty to talk about and a whole lot to teach. So we'll see who really wants to learn. So hold on 1 second, and I'll get you some more news.
Just is unbelievable. But now let me just clarify though. I can believe that the agitators that stormed the Capitol, it just doesn't appear to be. Just clarify though. I can believe that the agitators that stormed the Capitol, it just doesn't appear to be like that of normal pro-Trump supporters. In fact, there was an article that we picked up on. Let me see if I can find it right here. We go right here. Facial recognition. We'll kind of pause this because there's all kinds of facial recognition. We'll kind of pause this because there's all kinds of language that goes off in the background of that. Firm claims Antifa infiltrated Trump's protesters who stormed the Capitol. Said retired military officer told the Washington Times that the firm XR Vision used its software to do a facial recognition of protesters and matched two Philadelphia Antifa members to two men inside the Senate. The source provided the photo matches to the Times. One has a tattoo that indicates he is a Stalinist sympathizer. Antifa promotes anarchy through violence.
So as you see, he just said, as he reads the article says, as you read it from the article, that seems as two people who was down with the Fatifa team that Trump calls a terrorist group infiltrated the Trump supporters who was protesting on behalf of Trump about they wanted these votes to get done because everybody knows that Trump won. But instead, the National Guard did not show that they were supposed to protect Trump. So we see what's going on, and obviously they did too. And the people, we know FEMA's in this because FEMA said the support FEMA's were going to be there. FEMA troops were shown there. So the people stood up today. I think that put a scare in the powers that want a certain plan to go a certain way, and what they did by having the two guys go in there, because it was two guys. I don't know exactly what they did, but it wasn't enough to stop everything that was going on. But it did stop the voting counts. So they pre-loaned Trump's announcement of him being president. And they did it on purpose because everybody knows when he becomes president, Trump has said that there are certain people, this is what Trump said now, certain people are going to jail. We don't have to discuss that any further because we've been through that a long, long time ago for the last, it's been like months, hasn't it? 8-9 months probably.
And once the end of America in favor of a Stalinist state. So, yeah, that's. When I first began to report on it, I was kind of shocked that this was happening, but then I began to look at the video footage that was also surfacing on Twitter.
Mm.
You see things like this right here, some of the images there, these young guys and stuff, not typical Trump supporters, which are not normally a bunch of young guys that are going around like a bunch of thugs. And I thought,
I think climbing the White House.
Even in the Black Lives Matter marches, you were seeing Antifa.
Now, Trump supporters and even folks who would protest against Trump do not climb walls. These guys, there's 3 of them. He showed 3 of them on there. So it's actually 3, not 2. For Tifa, guys climbing the walls. Why was they climbing the walls? They're not on Trump's side. So why else do you think the people stormed the building? To stop the Fatifa people? Because the picture paints 1,000 stories, right? But the picture can also paint a story that points to the person that's the oddball, and this is how the cops do their investigation with pictures. When they snap pictures on you, when you doing certain things that they think you're doing, or certain things that you aren't supposed to be doing. Because you could be going to the store and they snap a picture and think you're doing something. Obviously in court is not going to stand up. But if you're doing something and they catch you on candid camera, just like these guys are caught on candid camera, it's going to stand up. You listen, a lot of people, and I seen a news article today that said, what does it say? Biden is in big trouble. That's what the news article said today. It said Biden is in big trouble. So watch out because there's a storm brewing.
Keep violent members there.
Violent
even
members.
Infiltrated them, because there's many times I took up for the Black Lives Matter, the people that felt disenfranchised, that felt like they had been, things that have been wrongfully.
Whoa. Now he's going to try to twist it the way the news twisted. No. The people who are causing trouble in the Black Lives Matters group, the particular ones that are doing it, are not our people doing. Well, some are being led to do it, but they're bought paid for. But the rest of them are not doing it. They're standing by, and actually, I have seen some brothers and sisters speak out against what's going on, and actually in groups together speak out what's going on, saying they're not, the Black Lives Matter people that's doing it, doing that violent stuff, is not for them. They even said that people keep infiltrating the Black Lives Matters group. That those are not what they're standing up for. And so these people are people that obviously bought and paid for by an outside source, and we all know with the articles and what everybody been already exposing of how people sold us out. We don't have to say any names. The paperwork spoke for itself. So again, this is crazy. 2021 doesn't seem to be much better, does it, y'all?
Done, and they were trying to protest peacefully.
Peacefully.
And then there was a lot of that felt disenfranchised. They felt like they had been, things had been wrongfully done, and they were trying to protest peacefully.
See,
and then
speaking
there was
out
a
against
lot
it.
of people that were coming into those protests trying to intentionally incite violence,
See,
to create more havoc.
see,
And of course, once you get it going, then more people join into it, and the next thing you know, they're burning down the entire nation during these issues over the death of different people that have been killed by police actions, things like that. Well, this is exactly what I believe was happening in Washington, D.C. today. And of course, they did storm the Capitol building while they were in session, trying to certify Joe Biden as next president of the United States and Kamala Harris as his vice president. And of course, they really lashed out on Trump. But at the same time, I can't help but wonder if this is not.
Yeah, the news didn't lash out on Trump. They tried to put it all on Trump. Trump had nothing to do with that. And the people stood up and protected Trump. And those three guys had no business storming those walls. It's in the pictures. I'm not lying. It's in the news articles. He read it. I ain't lying. Okay? So I don't understand how is it in the news articles that these guys just stormed the damn building. These guys are on the wall, climbing the wall, y'all. This is crazy, right? And trying to get the crowd to go crazy and stuff. But when they climbed the wall, the crowd stormed inside the building to protect Trump. Now, why are they blaming this on Trump? Because this doesn't look like Trump set anything up. This looks like somebody's out to get Trump. I'm just using common sense. And I did a video a while back that said they want Trump. I'm really starting to think, don't get me wrong, because I don't trust none of them, but maybe they want Trump really bad. That's what I'm starting to think.
Nothing but a setup from the beginning.
Mm.
When I say that, because as I want setup from the beginning, and when I say, at the same time, I can't help but wonder if this is not nothing but a setup from the beginning. And when I say that, because as I watch the things unfold, they want unrest. They want to bring about civil unrest throughout the nation. And even some of these detractors, you have like George Bush and Biden and all them saying this was a tragedy, especially Mitt Romney. They come out and they're bashing on Trump. Well, I think Trump knows full well what it's about. I think Mitt Romney knows as well as George H.W. Bush, that this is all about to bring this nation to a boil so they can disarm the nation. They want the people to go against one another. And they're going to probably end up being successful. I would not be a bit surprised. Everywhere out there, former Republican President George W. Bush, not H, condemned the rioting at the Capitol and said he...
Listen, and YouTube, you can't get mad at me for saying this. This is a peaceful message. Do not turn your guns or weapons or whatever you have on each other. Because I know people. I know how people are. Okay? Do not turn your weapons on each other. Do not give them what we think they want. Okay? Do not give them what we think they want. Now, what we think, or what most of us think they want, is what the gentleman there just said. Let's not have unrest. Let's not be stupid. Let's be smart. Let's be wise. Remember, divide and conquer. We should not be divided. We should be smart. This is chess, not checkers. Remember, They're against the ropes. This is like a football game, you know? And they fumble. And they're on their own 1 yard line near their end zone. And now we got the ball. Don't drop the ball. Don't panic. Do not give the unrest. Let's be civil. Let's not give them what we think they want. As this gentleman and a lot of people on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, everywhere, really, you can. It's everywhere. We all think they want the same thing. So if we all are thinking the same way, and we thinking that they want the same thing from all of us, then why don't we be smart and let's not give it to them? Let's not fall for the trap. Let's be peaceful. Let's use our brains. Let's think. I know everybody can do it. If you got a brain, you got to be able to think. Please, for crying out loud, this is the one time you have a chance to get things going in the right direction. And then, afterwards, make everything right. Otherwise, if you don't, and if we don't, we already know what the Creator said will happen. People, this is our chance to be smart. Let's please be smart.
He was appalled by the reckless behavior of some political leaders since the election. What do you know? So, let's watch though. Next week is going to be very interesting. I told you guys that this would not be the time when anything would happen. And a lot of people felt like, well, this is going to be where they're going to be able to overturn the election and give it back to Trump and stuff. And I said, nope, it's not going to be what's going to happen.
No.
Watch what happens next week. And I don't say...
I already said there's not going to be another president. I've been saying that. But y'all ain't got to listen to me. I'm just being real with you. Like he said...
Trump's going to become president. Watch what happens next week. Now, I don't say that Trump's going to become president as a result, but they're going to really stir it up come next week. And things that are going to come out will shock you, I promise you. I say that Trump puts out these subliminal messages. Even in these, there are subliminal messages. Let me see if I can get it. Play it here. Listen into this here for a second. Here we go. There it is. You hear that?
Did he say that?
Think of that as a subliminal message where he just accused certain individuals out there. I think you're going to see a very interesting...
He did say that.
To say the very least there. By the way, also, I saw this in Arabic news. I reached out to a good friend of mine from the Middle...
For y'all don't know what he said, I'm just going to say he spoke about something everybody exposed a long time ago. Everybody was going hard on it, and everybody finally got off it because YouTube started hating. So I'm not going to say exactly, but I'm pretty sure most of y'all have watched this, because a lot of folks watch this all day. Let's just be honest. I wasn't. I was at work. The rest of you was watching most of this. So some of this ain't even news to you.
Release there, Ahmadinejad, in an urgent message to Rouhani, prevent a war that will soon take place in the region.
Oh, boy.
The former Iranian president, Mohammad Ahmadinejad, was making an appeal to Rouhani, who is the current...
Remember how they said that they was going to get some payback for what happened to their general, or whatever the heck that dude was, scientists, or Iranian scientists, or some crap like that. And they said Trump and anybody had anything to do with it was not. That's what they said now. They basically said they were going to get revenge. Is what they said. They're going to get their revenge, and if you don't see what's coming at this point, you gotta be kidding me. I just to have to explain if I'm not even gonna explain, because if you can't see what's going on right now, what is next? It's man, we are there. We're there. We're definitely there. And if you can't see we're there, something wrong with you.
Current president there saying to do everything he possibly could to avert a war. That it's only going to serve the interests of those that are trying to get the war started, which is Israel that's trying to get this war started, and it's not. And of course, the people of Iran will end up paying the price for that. The interesting thing that I got back, though, is that his thinking that the war is going to begin or imminent, which I believe to some extent it is imminent, is that he's basing that more on media and not on real intel that's going on. But at the same token, this is one reason why I think you're going to see a lot of crazy things happen next week. Israel wants this war with Iran. Doesn't matter how they seem to get it, they want that war with Iran. And speaking of the war with Iran, another big issue that I saw as well, and I'm going to jump over here to Syria real quick.
See, there we go. That's why there's no peace over there. That's why there's no peace over there. See, the people, or I should say the children of the Creator, are over here and also spread out all over the world. Meanwhile, you got these people over there causing all types of trouble, claiming they somebody. And we know what the Bible says about who they are. I'm telling you, people, I hope you can wake up before it's too late.
Quick. Israel also was launching attacks again against south of Damascus there, hitting Iranian-backed targets over there. I think what Israel is looking for is they're looking for those ballistic missiles that have been moved into the region there, both Syria, Lebanon, also in Yemen and other places like that. And Israel is trying to weaken up some of those places there. How much longer will this go on, though, before Iran actually snaps and makes a mistake? And I say makes a mistake because once Iran strikes back, especially if they go to hit Israel, it's going to be game on, and it's not going to be a pretty picture. And then the President of the United States will join in that type of a battle. But I know there's a lot of political uncertainty as far as Biden. This is one reason why the Joint Chiefs of Staff have said for the President to stand down, not to get involved right now with the...
Yeah, President Trump, if we get involved with that war, you're better off not really getting involved with that war. Leave them folks to their own business, stay out of it altogether, and let the other countries know that you stand out of it. And just prepare to protect home, just in case. But we all know that that's not going to happen. We know what the books say. And the books say the last trumpet is going to get involved. Trump is in the Bible as the last trumpet. If you didn't know, there's always a double meaning to everything. And his butt is going to feel like his back is against the wall. I hope y'all ready. I really do. All the teaching that's been going forth for all this long time, for many people, including women, showing videos. I hope y'all ready.
War because of not knowing for sure who's going to be in the White House come January the 20th. I can't even say for sure.
Nobody.
It's so crazy things that are going on. So we just wanted to share those things with you, update you about things that are happening like this there, and bring some of these things to your attention there. I wanted to put this title of this article up for you here. This is Stacey Abrams refutes comparison. Wait, that's not that one. That's not the one I wanted. Hang on. Here we go. This one right here. Back in January of this year, Here we are coming up on the 1 year anniversary. Stacey Abrams predicts she will one day be president. The former Georgia gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams predicted that she will be elected president of the United States in the next 20 years.
Oh boy.
I just would tell you, keep your eyes closely on.
No, don't waste your time with that. I don't even know why he. They killing me with this one. Listen, we at the end, and if you can't see it, something wrong with you. That's simple.
Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 2371, and today's date is January 6, 2021, and the title of the episode is Central Bank and China Economic System Are Now in the Process of Being Destroyed. Let's talk about investing. You know, it's a new year. Time for new things.
Good.
Trump
Central
staying in the
Bank,
White
good.
House. So our friends at Noble Gold have all the protection you need. Security, yes, security. It's like dam-proofing. It keeps the government from your savings, like the dam from your floors. How? By using gold and silver in your own IRA. You insulate it from the markets. If anything bad happens, you're safe and dry. Protect with Gold IRA this month, and Noble Gold will give you this stunning solid silver Apollo 11 commemorative coin from the U.S. Mint. Visit Noble Gold at noblegoldinvestments.com or call 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. Or click the link in the description. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, we know that the central bank, the mainstream media, the deep state, the invisible enemy, they are going to continue to push their agenda. Remember, the deep state, the central bank, the invisible enemy, they will never give up. They will never give up their power. They will never give up their control. They will never give up their economic system. No matter what happens, they will continue to push their goal. Their goal is to bring everyone into the Great Reset. Their goal is to have a one world government. Their goal is to control the entire economic system. This is not just with the economy. This is with everything that we're seeing. It's the same enemy. And they will continue to push their agenda until the very end, until they're destroyed. Trump and the Patriots may know this. They know the only way to get rid of the central bank, the only way to get rid of the deep state, the invisible enemy, is to completely and utterly destroy them. Expose all of them for what and who they are. And that's what we are seeing right now. With the economy, the central bank, they have always known that their system would only last 40 to 50 years. Their system was only designed to last that long. It was never meant to benefit the people. It was meant to enslave them, rob them of pretty much everything they have, control the countries. And they knew that once the system came to that point in time, they would have to reboot it, reset it. But this time, they're trying to do it without their main cover story. Remember, the central bank, they have grown over the many years since 1913. They created the IMF, the BIS, ECB. They put private Western central banks in all the other countries. Their system is huge. It's around the world. Think about what happened during the first private Western central bank. The charter ran out, Congress didn't renew it. Think about the second private Western central bank in this country. Andrew Jackson got rid of it. But it was just in this country. Now Trump is going to battle the third private Western central bank. And it's not just this country. It's the entire world. That's how big it has gotten. And he only has, and I'm not talking about him, I'm talking about the rest of them, they only have one shot to do this. And Trump and Pate, this is what they've been setting up. They've been setting up their shot. They've been preparing the United States for this point in time. This is why Trump has been deregulating. This is why Trump has been placing tariffs on China. This is why he's been hitting China very hard. We've been saying this for a very long time. Everything was being moved over to China. That's where the deep state, that's where the central bank was going to.
So Trump is hitting these countries not because of hate or anything, or because he have beef with them, but more so because he's trying to take down all the central banks. And if you hit these countries with terrorists and keep on upping the terrorists like he's been doing, yeah, it's going to piss them off. And they may try to fight you. They may try to come at you. But by the time they do that, they're going to be at a weakened state, which was smart. That was actually pretty smart, weaken your enemy without even throwing a punch. And when those banks collapse, as they are collapsing, because some bank notes did fall, by the way, y'all. I showed proof on that on my other channels. They lose some of their power, or a good portion of it, because the funding goes down. They see, it makes sense how China started coming up with all these weapons, that technology out of nowhere and everything, right?
To set up shop. Remember, they wanted a war. They wanted the United States to lose the war. This way, they can take over the entire world. The Constitution is in their way. And we can see they've been trying for a very long time.
Yeah, they have.
Now their system has reached the point where they have to do something or it implodes and everyone sees it. But they don't have that war. They don't have that cover story. People are going to see this now. People are going to say, you know something? There's something wrong with this system. Why can't we ever get out of negative interest rates? Why can't our country, why can't the people in the country, why can't it grow like it used to? Because in the beginning of their system, yes, with coming off a sound money system, the system takes off. People think it's fantastic. But what you're experiencing is inflation, which is really the devaluing of the currency.
Mm-hmm.
So people think, wow, my salary went up, my house went up, everything seems great. It's an illusion. It's really, what that means is the currency just was devalued. And now you need more of that paper currency to pay for the same exact thing. But what happens at the end of their system? At the end of their system, it's the opposite way. Let's talk about investing. It's a new year. Time for new things. Trump's staying in the White House. So our friends at Noble Gold have all the protection you need. Security, yes, security. It's like dam proofing. It keeps the government from your savings, like the dam from your floors, huh?
Like I said, I don't think there'll be another president, but we're going to end it right there. We all know what it is. All praise to the Creator and nobody else. Remember, the Creator is in you, because you are a portion of the Creator. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. Peace and love. Good night.